Okay. There we go.
Oh, here we go again.
What? You're not doing it again?
Oh, hang on. Oh, it says we're live. I'm black. Oh, there I am. Yay! What's OBS say?
Live. It says live, but
That stupid thing says you're not.
the YouTube is thinking about life over here.
Mm-hmm. Nothing unusual. Nope, says you're live.
There we go. I'm gonna eat chocolate.
You're here. I'm on your page. Hey,
You're on my page.
I'm on your YouTube. Just yeah. Change that tab so you don't have to look at it. You're fine. I see you. Hey, I see you. So we made it, but
Yep.
we didn't really say what time when, so we're here. It's kind of been a busy day, busy weekend, eh?
Yeah.
Well, busy night last night.
Why was it a busy night last night?
You finished your book.
Oh, that was this morning
Okay, whatever.
at possibly 4 a.m.
Well, 3 a.m., but, you know, I'm going to leave your pretty face on the screen for a minute because I need a drink. And I don't want to be rude.
I look like shit. Oh my
Nah.
God. I'm sick, so I'm entitled to look like shit, just so you know.
Well, yes, but you're here.
Yep.
And I managed to fend it off a little bit.
And I'm running on chocolate and Pepsi, I think.
Chocolate and kisses.
Chocolate and Pepsi.
But hey, I'm running on all kinds of stuff, including adrenaline kind of thing. Look, I got a new toy.
Uh-huh.
It's on screen.
You showing your... No, I guess.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Yeah, see it there? That's just a small version of it. I didn't want to make it too big.
So you got yourself a new case for your computer
I did.
that's transparent.
Yeah, it's tempered glass.
Mm-hmm. And it's got
All kinds of
of
lights.
whoop-de-doo lights in there and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I got whoop-de-doo lights in mine too, but mine's like a smoky glass. You can't really see unless you
Well, and it's upward. It's sitting away from you.
kind of want to. And yeah,
Your computer's sitting on its side.
it's laying down.
It's tired.
I don't know if I need glasses.
Sure you do. There you go. That's the look we look for.
No.
Hey, we have 2 people here. At least on mine.
Oh, yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. So you got anything today? I know it was kind of last minute. We weren't really sure if we were going to go today because it took me how long to put this thing together?
Well, you were farting around with that, but I was also having a nap because
You feel like shit.
I went to bed about 4 and I got up about 10.
Yeah.
And you would think, and I got up once, I think, to go to the bathroom in that, but for the most part, I slept that. So you think that would be enough, but because I'm sick, it wasn't really. So,
No, it was all right though.
so anyways, I was on a Zoom call, a discussion that the polyamory organization was putting on, and the
Kept you busy. Pull your mic closer. You're quiet tonight.
yeah, the person running or I don't know, facilitating the discussion.
There we go. That's true.
Did really well, and their co-facilitator was monitoring the chat, and people had some interesting...
You didn't really need to be there kind of thing, but you wanted to be there anyways.
Well, you know, I participated in the discussion, but there was some sad stories of people
There we go.
really not being... You're just not an equal citizen when you practice polyamory.
No.
You're just
And then
not.
when you get lawyers involved, it gets difficult because not enough of the law profession knows how to handle it.
Well, and the law is very, very vague on some things, but you know, yeah. Anyways, there were some sad stories of people who have had really difficult times, and we're talking about so anything to do with families, it was about polyamory and families. Anything to do with families has is the germane of provincial law in Canada. The federal government doesn't mess around so much in family law, but the provincial governments do. And so there were several people from different provinces across the country, which was kind of good to hear. And we heard a bit about what it looks like in their areas in terms of family law decisions and so on. And there was somebody there from Quebec talking about during COVID, they had passed a law, a curfew law.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't know if it's curfew law or just curfew or what. But anyways,
It was just a curfew to keep people from going out.
it passed a curfew that if you weren't like going to a job and could provide information or proof that you were going to a job, you needed to be in your house after a certain hour at night.
Wow.
For the night. And unfortunately, people who were unhoused or homeless couldn't really provide that proof, so they were being harassed and told that they had no excuse.
They had to go home.
They were told that they had no excuse, that there were shelters and they could find lodgings in the shelters, which was not the case. The shelters were full. And there was an instance of one gentleman who took his housing in a porta potty and
Ew.
Died. I don't know if he froze to death.
Probably
died.
froze to death.
But
more
anyways, he died because he was not adequately warmed. Probably because he was in a porta potty, because that can't be insulated too well. And I imagine he'd have done better if he'd had his whatever sleeping bag and stuff rolled up on some doorstep. He would have done
Probably done better.
much better with the heat.
Yeah.
Right?
I find there's when you get regulations like that, there's a huge disconnect between the regulations and the people that enforce them.
Yeah.
They don't understand the actual, and it doesn't get out to the masses that it needs to get out to that enforce it in the same amount of time. So you got one group that says, "Oh no, you do it this way," and then you get another group that says, "No, that's not how it's interpreted. You do it this way."
Yeah, and they talked a bit about privilege, and that some of us can negotiate laws better and government systems better than others. We don't have the same. We don't come from the same anxiety places, for one thing, but also just racial and profiling and all those things that go on.
No doubt.
With law enforcement, but also with government agencies. And as you're trying to negotiate different services and different systems, we talked about that when it comes to child protection and things, that the social worker on the streets bias is hugely impactful on what kind of service and one receives, and whether or not polyamory is seen as an issue or not, right?
Well, then you get the same thing with social workers. Their opinion seems to be all end all, and it might not be the right one, but it's the way they interpret it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their bias would get in the road, maybe, or it might be of assistance. It just depends on the situation, because of that, one never knows what exactly is going to happen. You just because
based on the bias of the people that's providing the service.
Sure, just because the law says one thing, if it doesn't cover the thing, and one has to have protocols and practices and things like that in place that may not move along with the times. You'll see that in case law that or a case law study that there's been cases where a judge has said, yeah, well, it's in the best interest of the kid to be a part of this multi
Yeah, there's been a few judgments that way.
multi-parent family, and then other judges that will say, oh, that's no. No,
The law says this, and that's the way it has to go.
because and it's an interpretation of that law.
Yeah, exactly.
So the judges are interpreting the law. The police on the street are interpreting the law. The social workers that meet you and deal with you are interpreting the law, and it's too much
interpretation.
Too much room for interpretation.
Yeah, too much is left to interpretation.
Things maybe need to be tightened up. I don't know. But anyways, it was an interesting discussion, and it was well facilitated. I was pleased to see, and well attended. Some very interesting folks on there with perspectives that were
different,
enlightening, shall we say?
Different,
enlightening from different parts of the country. Yeah, it was.
Well,
you
see, people's interpretations are different from one end of the country to the other, just because of the culture of the country.
Yeah,
the way we look at things here is not the way they look at things on the East Coast.
Yeah, and then Quebec's an entirely different
scenario. That's a whole different book in itself
as well. So anyways, and we live out here in BC in what they call La La Land, and
it's because we have the mountains and nothing gets over them.
Yeah, all the
blocks all the bullshit from the east. Although they like to think the other way around.
I think yeah.
Hey, we're far enough in. I'm not gonna get demonetized, so we're okay. We can say words like that. Mm-hmm. It also happens to affect the fashion trends. Nothing comes east quickly. But you do see a difference of opinion on where people live. Is it affected by the culture of where they live, or just their own upbringing?
Oh, sure. There's regional cultures. I remember when we first moved out here, and I'd say to somebody, I was in my workplace, "Oh yeah, I just have my 365, but I'm hoping to go for my full license." And she said to me, "You have your what?"
Yeah.
Because in Ontario, your learner's permit is your 365, or it used to be, because it was a year-long.
Yep. We used to call it our murders.
Year-long temporary license, and then they moved to the different system there, and then there's a different system here too, where it's 2 years and you have YEL and your N and all that stuff.
They're on the graduated licensing system there too, aren't they?
Yeah. But way back when,
you got this little yellow piece of paper that said you could drive.
Yeah, it was a yellow piece of paper, and it was we called it colloquially your 365. So there's certainly language and customs and that are,
and the way we speak,
that are regional within this country. It's a big country.
And then it goes even farther down than that, right? Because you get inside of, say, Toronto, and there are sections of Toronto that are completely culturally different than the rest of the world.
Yeah, true.
Each area has its own diversity.
True. I remember in grade 10 geography, we went to I lived in Mississauga, and we went, which is outside as a city of its own, outside of Toronto, to the west, and we went into downtown Toronto and had a walkabout tour of Kensington Market.
I love going there.
And surrounding areas in sort of central Toronto, and the big thing was to see the change of architecture and storefronts and stuff as different national groups moved.
You got Little Italy and places like that there.
Yeah, you would see the Italian bunch, and then there's the Portuguese, and then the Chinese, so you would see the change in the structure. I remember the Portuguese. I think it was Portuguese housing, was all these beautiful, bright, vibrant colors painted over the brick on the houses, and then
looks like Newfoundland.
And heavy duty. Wrought iron type fencing around things was the Italian thing group, and you could see, and then there would be a change in the revamping, and it was really a really interesting a really interesting course. Plus, it was fun to be in Kensington Market and watching people haggle over produce and like that.
It's kind of like going to Pike's Place Market in Seattle. Although it's bigger.
Different because this is out on the street, so you were going along.
Yeah, that's true. Kensington's a little bit different.
And Pike's Market is one big building. Yeah.
I tried.
Plus, nobody was throwing fish, so it wasn't like Parks.
If you threw a fish at somebody in Toronto, they'd pick it up and throw it right back.
Probably, yes. I remember working.
Different mentality there.
First job I had was at Toronto Western Hospital.
Yeah.
And I had to take the.
Gee, how'd you get that job?
Oh, I don't know.
Somebody help you?
Yeah, it's a little bit of nepotism there. Yeah. And
okay.
but anyways, I was 17, and I got a summer job there. I had to go in on the GO train and then the subway streetcar.
Yep. The Red Rocket.
And I'd be on the street right, and I would remember that commenting that my butt was black and blue from being pinched.
Oh dear.
By other passengers on the streetcar.
Oh dear.
Who would yeah.
Now,
You'd look and go, "Excuse me."
nowadays you get punched.
Now
arrested.
you wouldn't see that now, but then it was a common thing. And I worked the one summer. I worked there 2 summers. The one summer, I was in sort of the front office kind of thing, and spent my time processing OHIP claim forms, more for the most part. And the staff there was a really wide cultural group. There was so many different languages spoken, and it was really interesting. They were really, really lovely. Mostly women, really lovely women, and yeah, I quite enjoyed that experience. But not so much the streetcar.
Not so much the butt pinching.
Yeah, I remember one of my coworkers telling me exactly what I should be doing about that.
Baseball bat.
It was interesting. Certain comments, and just there was just a look.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, that race right up there with that manly man look.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, my manly man.
You don't know. You gotta swing the arms, manly man. Here we go.
Manly man.
Screenshot.
Yeah.
There's our thumbnail for this week.
No. Just my. I'm really just
stuffed up. You can hear it.
Stuffed up, and it's getting in my throat.
Like I said, if we need to cut it short, we can cut it short. If you don't feel like going a full hour.
Yeah. So I came across an article here while we're talking about multi adult relationships, which is near and dear to our hearts because that's what we
do.
That's what we do. Oh, funny thing. So I phoned to book the vet appointment for the dog. And she was setting up an account because we've not taken the dog to the vet yet, which is probably not a good thing. Should have probably done it 6 months ago.
Well, we should have probably opened that bag and realized, hey, look, she gets car sick.
Yeah, there's that.
Here's a shock.
But anyways, she needs to get spayed, so we need to sort of organize that. But she's probably due for some shots and all that.
Probably, yep.
Likely should have taken her a long time ago. But anyways, I was setting up the account with the receptionist, and she was asking me the name. I had said my name, and when I went on the phone call, and she says, "So the last name is yours, right?" I said, "No, it's his. It's
his dog." I was upstairs putting monitor mounts on.
Yeah, it's a different last name. And then she said in the first name, and I said Maisie is a dog, and she goes, "No, the owner." Okay.
Sorry.
How do you know that? Like, what judgments are you making about who my partner is?
It's not the dog.
Yeah. So I have, not legally, but in my Facebook, and I use your last name and Jason's last name and my last name.
I don't use his. I just use yours and mine.
Yeah, and I use all three.
Yeah.
And Jason uses his and mine.
It's funny because occasionally you'll get mail addressed to you with that on there.
Yeah, so I'm not used to being asked what last name we're using. Yeah.
Well, if she read the email, she probably was thinking, and she assumed, which is a bad thing to do.
Yeah, she assumed. Anyways, so I came across this thing talking about countries that you are most and least likely to be in a committed relationship. And it talks about, here are 10 countries most likely where people are most likely to seek commitment. Now, I'm not sure how they define commitment. Doesn't really.
Well, as long as you're not committed to a hospital or something, you're okay.
But they considered in this.
Yeah.
Alternative relationship dynamics such as polyamory and the hated thruples.
There's that word again.
Yeah. I hate that word. Anyways, they said Hungary is the country where people are most likely to seek long-term committed relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Hungary. I wonder why. Hungarians are most likely to seek long-term committed relationships.
Really?
For every 1,000 Hungarians, 6.7 have tied the knot, and only 1.5 of them subsequently untied the knot with a divorce. So it looks like many in Hungary have got their happy ever after. Interesting. So it's Hungary, what's it say? Marriage rate, divorce rate, and percent of population classified in a relationship.
Does it have the divorce rate?
Number of monthly dating app downloads. Oh, interesting.
Somebody tracks that crap?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, number one is, I like the divorce rates are quite low.
In Hungary?
In any of these. So the top 10 are Hungary, Portugal, Luxembourg, Slovenia, Germany, Netherlands, New Zealand, Iceland, Austria, and Switzerland.
Is that your top 10?
That's the top 10.
That's weird, eh? It's all European and Asiatic countries.
So the marriage rate, 6.7, 4.8, 7. Oh, I see. So why is 7 lower? Well, because the divorce rate's a bit higher. 5.4, 5, 4, 3.7, 5.8, 5.2, 4.5. Okay, that's not bad. And the divorce rates are between 1.5. There's a 2.3. There's a Slovenia is 0.8 with a 5.4 marriage rate.
Interesting.
That's interesting. So percent of population classified in a relationship. Pretty much all at least 60%.
Really?
Yeah. Portugal,
Jeez.
Portugal 68%, 66%. Yeah. Interesting, eh? And the divorce rates are under 2%, except for that one, Luxembourg.
Huh.
Interesting. And then it says countries least likely to seek commitment. And we we're not even on here. We have,
what does that say?
We have Latvia as number 1, the Czech Republic, Estonia, Sweden, Norway, United Kingdom, Lithuania, Spain, Italy, and Denmark. Interesting. And they're all
Europeanish.
The marriage rate is under 5, and the divorce rate is around between 2 and 3%. Interesting.
It is.
United Kingdom is 3.7 marriage rate, 1.7 divorce rate. So they've got a 60.7% of the population is in a relationship. So when I'm looking at this is interesting that they have the number of monthly dating app downloads.
Yeah.
Germany has the highest percentage, 98,973 downloads.
Huh.
And United Kingdom has 80,616. And I'm going to sneeze.
Mute.
It won't mute.
There's no other mute button doesn't stay on.
Okay, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna sneeze.
False alarm?
Whoa. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, and so statistically, Eastern Europe appears to be the least committed. Scandinavian countries also making the top 10. Huh. So this they also were looking at alternative relationships and why alternative relationships like polyamory are on the rise. And so it says, well, first we have more mainstream media representative of relationship diversity. It used to be rare that you would hear anything about consensual non-monogamy in the media.
Yeah.
And when it was mentioned, it was typically stigmatized.
Yeah.
Today, however, multi-partner relationships can be found everywhere, from reality TV to front-page news. This greater representation has allowed many people to recognize that monogamy may not be the only option. Secondly, expectations for our relationships have grown over time. People today want a partner who will be both their best friend and a passionate lover. Someone who can meet any and all needs that might arise now and forever. However, people seem to be increasingly recognizing that that is difficult, if not impossible, to have such high expectations for just one partner. As a result, some are now considering whether the best solution is to have different partners who can meet different needs.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
It is actually. Hang on. Flip.
I think too, finances enter into that.
Oh, of course.
And that they were talking in this discussion this afternoon about it takes a village to raise a child, and that being responsible, especially single parent, responsible for even one child, never mind 3 or 4, is exhausting and really can be quite overwhelming with that sense of responsibility. Also, financially, one person really can't afford rent or anything anymore these days.
Yeah.
You know, the average
you pretty
job.
much have to go with, so you have to have a roommate these days.
Yeah, never mind if you're working minimum wage or something, but if you have the average job can't afford this. So just those two pressures as well on a relationship would make you look at multiple, at least roommates, if not partners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you have?
Well, before we go into mine, it's that time anyways.
Yeah.
It's time for our sponsor spots, but I do have something. You know what's going on tonight, right?
The Oscars.
Unless people are living in a cave.
Oh, can somebody take my nose? 'Cause
No.
it's just running.
So looks like the Scream Queen won another Oscar.
The Scream Queen?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she won Best Supporting Actress.
For this new one?
For Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Yeah.
Oh.
She beat out what's her name from Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
The rest of these names,
Yeah.
no idea who they are.
Oh.
You know, some of these
Can you show it?
Usually I can if I'm really quick here.
Oh, now my eyes are watering too.
Of course, it's just the way things are going. But while I'm doing that.
Here, I don't need these. I don't need these if I'm not reading, so I'll just put them over there.
There we go. Wait, nope, that's the wrong one.
Oh, now I'm reading. What
There's
you doing?
There's all my screens. There.
Okay.
How's that?
No, now I do need my glasses. Okay.
This is everything so far. Costume design, Black Panther, duh.
Okay, you need to make that a
I
little bit
can't
bigger.
make it bigger.
Well, you're fired.
It's as big as it shows on the screen.
Okay,
What did you want to see?
I just would like to read it. It's too small. Oh, that's better.
Better?
Okay. Black Panther. Costume design. Yeah, they're pretty interesting costumes.
Makeup and hairstyle.
Everything,
Some,
everywhere.
with the exception of Black Panther. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
have not seen any of the movies. Usually I do see one or two of them. Although, best cinematography. No, best makeup, isn't it? Hairstyle, yeah. So The Batman, I've seen that one. All Quiet on the Western Front, isn't? Oh, that's a remake.
It's a remake, yeah.
The Red Suitcase.
Best cemetery. Live action short film.
An Irish Goodbye, whatever that is. You know what it is?
No, but you know that one.
The one you couldn't watch all the way through?
Yeah. Did it do any good?
Yeah, right here. He was up for a nominee. He was up for Best Supporting Actor from it,
Right.
but he lost to that other same movie that Jamie Lee Curtis was in.
Oh, he got it. They were saying that he did a really good job. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie.
Which one? Everything,
Yeah.
Everywhere, All at Once?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I gotta check it out.
Oh, look what's up for Best Picture. I did not know that. I've seen that movie.
Top Gun. Oh yeah, Maverick. Everything Everywhere.
Oh, look, it's up for Best Picture, eh? Right here.
Oh, it is? Oh, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's
It's a horrible
well, I
movie.
don't know. It's just triggering because the way
He's up for Best Oscar,
the
Colin
way-
Farrell, for Best Actor.
the way his character reacts to
Mm-hmm.
the situation is super controlling and abusive.
That's the
and
first
it's
time I've seen
very, I found it very triggering. I couldn't watch it.
a movie in the blockbuster category
Yeah.
basically show up in under Best Picture. It's
Right.
very rare.
Avatar.
The Way of Water. What did you think about that movie?
It was good.
I'm gonna turn this off for a bit so we can look at each
Yeah,
other.
it was good. Like
Hang on.
Avatar is a hard movie to follow up on, right?
There we go. I got lost on this.
So they haven't done these ones yet. Best actor.
No.
Okay.
Okay, my problem here is
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a display capture. Where did this come from?
There we go.
Yeah, but I can't find it.
Mm.
There's nothing in this unlocked. Well, that's neat. I can't make it go away.
Oh, well, that's not good at all. So me and my nose.
Yeah, don't mind me, folks. I'm trying to figure this out. Here, there we go. It's still here. I just moved it off screen. There. So it's sponsor spot time.
Oh dear.
Can you handle it?
Sponsor spot.
Yeah, it's halfway point. Sponsor spot. Who's our sponsors this week? Same as they were last week.
Well, glasses are off.
You've got You've got something coming up next week.
They're just pressing on things. On this Saturday, so before we're on again.
Hey, maybe if I get off my ass, we can have some video.
Maybe.
They doubt it. That's one day. That's too quick even for me.
Yeah.
That's good, but I ain't that good.
So, Philidith Publishing has a vendor spot at the Read Local Book Fair in Victoria, BC, at the First Metropolitan United Church Hall.
My
And
turn.
there'll be a couple dozen vendors in
There we
there,
go.
authors and publishers and so on, selling their
There.
stuff
What's that?
and chatting you up if you have, designs on writing that memoir or whatever. There'll be people kicking around to talk to, and we've got a $5 grab bag to introduce you to some new authors.
We'll if you want, we'll do an interview with you.
Yeah, we
Yay.
could do that if you're an author or whatever. Want to chit chat?
Well, you want to just sit and chit chat with us? We'll do that too.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
One of us will. We only got 2 microphones.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll be there. We're also, this is our 20th anniversary year.
Yep.
And so we're looking for manuscripts to publish as, usual, like full books and that. But we're also looking for submissions for an anthology that includes short stories or essays and poetry, and the details of that are on the website philidithbooks.com, FILIDH books.com.
Here, I'll swing it back in.
Check that out, and you see the black square there, accepting submissions. Click on that and you'll get the deets, and click on the candles in the corner there and you'll get the how we pay for stuff deets.
Yep.
So check that out, and while you're there, check on the other square that's new releases and see what we've been up to and what's happening with those. We're working this year because of the pandemic. There wasn't much of a book launch thing happening, and so
that's in June, right?
We're catching up on those things. There's a big one June 3rd, the Esquimalt Rec Center.
We'll
the Pioneer
get more details
Room
up for that.
Yeah, it will be that'll be our pre-Pride LGBTQ authors whoop-de-doo launch. There's lots of things happening with that, and then there'll maybe other ones. I'm still working with authors, and there may be other ones before that, and then we'll do our 2023 releases in November at another similar in-person thing. It's I'd like to do some online video stuff too, because the point is to connect to your readership.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to do a live stream from there because the Wi-Fi is kind of crap, but
yeah, well,
I'm sure we could get something recorded at least.
Yeah, we'll do our best, but we're trying to connect the readers with the authors, and
yeah,
because it's important to develop that relationship.
Are we going to sell tables to that?
I don't know yet. Let's get ahead of ourselves.
Let's get March out of the way first.
Yeah, let's get the March out of the way. And the other thing that's happening before we're on again is St. Patrick's Day.
Yay!
And
you have a green hat that doesn't show up green.
I have little.
Hang on. We can do this real quick. You ready?
Yeah.
Hang on. Just turn off the filter for a second. Where's my filter?
No.
Hang on. Give me a second. Turn it off. There you go.
Yeah. See. The little green hats. See?
Little green hats.
Little green hat. Little leprechaunish.
No.
No.
Basically, that just shows us that we have green screens.
Yeah. I'm leprechaunish.
You're leprechaunish. Okay.
Yeah. And I so top of the day to you
Next week.
If on Friday, if you're celebrating and have a green beer for me.
We get Shamrock Shakes.
We could get.
I love Shamrock Shakes. You know the ones I like better? Remember the orange ones? The pumpkin, the ones they used to give for Halloween, whatever they called. They were pumpkin. They were something else.
They were orange.
They were orange.
Yeah. Yeah, those were good too. So happy St. Patrick's Day to
all of
for
our
Friday,
viewers.
And enjoy yourselves. My
turn. I got sponsors.
Yeah, what do you got?
This one. We'll just do this. There you go. Razer. I'm a Razer affiliate. The link's in the bio. Link's in the description. Need a new laptop. I heard this laptop's pretty good, the Death Adder. I don't know if I want to buy a laptop that's named after a snake.
Death Adder Pro
Faker.
Faker Edition.
I have no idea.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's the mouse. See?
It's red.
It's very red. So the link is in the show description. You get, I think it's 15% off, and you help the channel out.
Yes, and don't forget to like, subscribe,
And all that fun.
hit
Make
the
the
bell, and all that
I've
kind of
got
stuff.
one more subscriber note.
Yeah.
There's this one. Gamer fuel kind of thing. You can't use that. That's tagged with somebody else, but it's an esports drink, if that makes sense. And again, I think they're up to 30% discount if you buy something. Even got that merch swag. Speaking of that, before we do, I do have merch. We got to get yours going. I do have my store.
I have merch, but it's on Twitch.
It's on Twitch.
Yeah.
So I could go here. Let me get my YouTube rolling. Nope, you don't want to see my Gmail. Too much crap.
Uh-huh.
YouTube. My channel. I should have had this link. Store.
There's your store. What do you got?
All kinds of stuff. Look, pink shorts.
Ooh.
Swim trunks. I got swim trunks. Really slow site today. They're pink. But you could get them in, different color like black, or there's that pink again. Actually, that's pastel pink. Ooh, pardon me.
Ooh. I don't know. You got a cute little face, but I'm not sure I'd want it on my
Crotch.
Yeah.
It could be worse. I had a bra.
Oh, was on the boob?
It was, yeah, right in the middle of the boobs, which is kind of fitting for me. Lots of hoodies.
Dear.
Nice backpack. I like this backpack. That's blue.
And it's got a big of your face and then a little one in the pocket?
Yeah.
Or is that a lunchbox that goes in it?
No, that's on the front.
Oh, that's kind of
It's sports towels
bizarre.
with my pretty face on them.
Oh, yeah.
You can get a bucket hat. Coffee cup. Everybody has coffee cups. Right? I don't know how they can call this. The description of this is a long sleeve tee.
Well, yeah, it is.
But a long sleeve t-shirt is a short sleeve to me.
No. No, you're thinking of the difference between a sleeved t-shirt and a muscle shirt. Muscle shirt has no sleeves.
Pants. There's the whole story here. Water bottle. I'm gonna build a second store, so you get other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Watch bands, phone cases,
Huh.
all kinds of cool stuff. So that's the store. So between that and this stuff, they got pants too, but I'd rather you wear my logo than theirs.
Well, true.
Now this browser is going to go away. And now I got stories.
Stories? What stories do you have?
Let's just put it in the upper corner here. How's that? We'll talk about this one here. Look at this one. Can you read that? No, probably not, because it's a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, wrong page. Let's do this. There we go.
Vinyl overtakes CD sales for the first time.
Yep.
Seriously.
Vinyl sales continue to grow for the 16th year in a row.
Huh. I thought everyone had gone to MP3s and all that.
Oh, they've gone back.
Huh.
It's gone the other way. I mean, I whatever. I like MP3s and digital, right? But there's nothing beats the sound of a good album. Something with the scratches and the bumps and the hiccups and the
Yeah, that's kind of true.
the sound is just
you
better.
listen for the
Yeah,
before the needle hits the groove.
or you put a penny on top of your needle so it actually doesn't skip. Now, I don't know if you caught wind of this the other day. This is a different story. Just put this out of the way, lock this down. Oh, there it is. Now my display capture shows. That's where'd it go? It disappeared. Oh well. I'll just talk about it. So they had SVB, which is Silicon Valley Bank in the U.S., the 16th largest bank in the U.S.
All right, I caught this. Yeah.
is shutting down. And everybody's affected in different ways. This one here is interesting. Etsy is delaying its seller payments because they use Silicon Valley Bank that handles their payments.
Etsy. Wow.
And some companies in Silicon Valley are reporting their payroll is held by this bank.
Oh dear.
Are stuck because their deposit
So is it?
Yes.
I was going to say, isn't their system is different than ours?
It is. I was listening to Luke and Linus talk about this on their show Friday night, and it doesn't affect a lot of us in Canada because we only have 4 banks, right?
Yeah, everything else is.
So 4th largest bank in Canada wouldn't mean much to any of us.
That's the difference between banks and credit unions. Credit unions.
And actually, he had talked about that. He said when they first started running his channel, they were using a credit union for that because they had a bigger insurance side of their fundage.
Right.
But now they're all about the same now. But you're only insured up to $250,000. So if you've got several $1 million in your account, you're hosed.
Oh, so individually up to $250,000.
$50,000. That includes the company, right?
Right.
So they're worried about it's going to cause a collapse and it's going to snowball.
They might get a run on the banks.
That's what happened here. They got a run on the bank and basically shut them down.
Huh.
Completely shut people down. This guy here says, this one guy at Etsy says, I've got over 100 orders that have been fulfilled and shipped but haven't received payment for because the bank is holding on to the payments.
Nice.
Yep.
And you as a consumer wouldn't be
out a lot of money.
Wouldn't be able to get your money back from
there'd be no refund because there's no money
from that purchase either.
Yep. The money's in limbo.
Jeez.
Can you imagine if that would happen to eBay? What a nightmare that would cause, eh?
Yeah.
It's already close to a nightmare and a half. So that's one other thing I'm working on for today.
Right.
And then there's this one here. HP's blocking third-party ink again. When I used to work for HP, they had their way of blocking. It was just a sensor that people would pull off so they could use refillable ink.
Right.
But it would also tell the printer that you were using refillable ink, that you had refilled your cartridge.
Oh yeah, and then
so we would get them to do a printout and send that to us, and you could see that they had used a refillable cartridge. And their printer's not working. So guess what happens?
It's not covered by warranty.
It's not covered by warranty. Yep.
Ah.
It's silly. I didn't agree with the policy, but you work there, so you follow it, right?
Right. Yeah.
They've turned it off for the non-HP chip detected. The indicated cartridges have been blocked by the printer firmware because they contain a non-HP chip. This printer is intended to work only with new or reused cartridges that have a new or reused chip. Nice. And we all know how expensive ink is.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. New story. Lenovo, everybody's favorite laptop, used to be IBM, right?
The brick, yeah.
Have made ThinkBrick, yeah. A rollable laptop.
Rollable?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Not rolling with wheels, but roll up the rim.
Okay.
You can make your screen bigger just by unrolling it.
Oh. Oh. Interesting. Yeah. Like physically, not
physically unroll it. Yeah. You both have screens that can expand to give you more screen real estate. There's no more to this story. It just says more to follow.
Oh. Interesting.
I had something here on the BBC side. Oh, TikTok's trying to cover up its own problems.
Need a drink.
Oh, sorry. You should have said something. I should have jumped you off the screen. says TikTok has been banned in government networks and devices in the U.S. and Canada and the European Union. We all knew about that.
Yeah.
However, and then TikTok now won't load on universities' Wi-Fi networks and other things. She found a way around the block by using personal mobile data or VPN. So people are getting around the block. It's not having any terrible effect.
Yeah. People
In some things like that. I mean, obviously on government Wi-Fi's and things like that. There you go. I got you off screen. You can't see it, right? It doesn't see it. It doesn't know it's there. So TikTok is looking to patch and make amends, but everybody knows there's just smoke and mirrors. Lipstick on a pig.
Okay.
What else we got here? That's about all I got on the tech side of the world today. Tech side's pretty quiet today. It's been pretty quiet the last few weeks. We got no balloons to shoot down.
Ah.
Let's check the regular news. Hang on. I'll pull up some news here and see what we got. I don't know if it's good news, but everybody's talking about what right now? Hey?
The Oscars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow's the Junos, eh?
Yeah.
Here we go.
And here we got a local girl.
Yep. Oh, there you go. Canadian regulators have seized assets of the Toronto branch of the Silicon Valley Bank.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Now it's going to bother us, is it? Oh dear, our trade minister's in trouble again. Minister for International Trade made some ethics breach.
Mm.
Do we really need to read about politics right now? It's Sunday.
Probably not.
No. We'll wait till Monday. Just looking at the news. Let's see.
The only thing political that was interesting to me was the big hoofra that's going on in the States and up here as well about drag show.
Oh yeah.
People reading children's stories in libraries and stuff, and the big hoofra about it in the States is just a distraction. While they pass a bunch of anti
everything
everything legislation, anti-LGBTQ, anti-trans legislations everywhere under the sun in this. So this is just a distraction. So that we're all upset about that and don't notice that they're doing something else that's even worse.
Can you hold the fort for 2 minutes?
Maybe. Why?
On the screen by yourself?
Maybe.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh.
Gotta go.
Well.
I can hear you.
There's not enough room to sing and dance.
Oh goodness, no.
So I was just chatting with my brother just before I came on screen, and you get busy in life and you forget to touch base with people. I don't forget, but he lives in Ontario and I live in BC, and the time zone thing, when I think about get done my day and I get to, now I have time to think about who I need to be in touch with. It'll be 9 or 10 here, which is past bedtime back there. So then I go, oh well, I'll just do it in the morning, and then you get doing other things. So it's nice that he made a point of connecting.
Yeah, my brother occasionally will hop on. We've been chatting a little bit lately, although he's doing the same thing your son is doing.
What's that?
Drooling over my case.
Oh. Yes. Anyways, I miss my little bro, and it was nice to hear from him.
Should get him on here.
Had to discuss.
He's a fascinating person.
Oh, my brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, I know something we could talk about if you want to talk about politics.
What's that?
The grocery store gurus being hauled up before Parliament.
Oh yeah, did you hear how it went?
I did not hear how it went. Well, they're still going.
Yeah, well, they were going to have Jagmeet Singh grill the CEO from Loblaws, which I thought would be interesting.
Was just funny.
That Loblaws is.
So that would be stupid store.
They were price fixing bread like years ago.
Oh, and then the $40 chicken is the big thing.
Yeah. So they're
Sorry, I just saw this story. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry, you were talking about your brother.
Yeah, the bigger the chain,
the more greed.
The more levels of crap that goes on. I don't know.
They call it greedflation.
Yes. So here in Canada, the prices of food are just crazy off the rails, and the government has stepped in and is doing one of the committees of the government, federal government, is doing a grilling of.
We used to call them come to Jesus moments.
Yeah, of the CEOs of all the major grocery chains, and trying to find out what the heck is going down here, because the prices are crazy, but the farmers aren't getting paid.
And the inflation isn't going up as much as they thought.
And the inflation it's not on par with inflation that you would expect. That this is going to be an increase of such a percent, and it's whacked way out of that. And so the government's saying, excuse me, what the actual hell?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So there's a committee.
Parliamentary committee.
It's kind of like a grand jury in the States, I suppose.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, it has some power to it, but anyways, I wanted to. Jagmeet Singh is very funny when he smells blood, boy. Yeah.
It's like a shark.
Yeah.
He was quoted as saying, "How much profit is too much?"
Yeah. He's.
I understand you have a responsibility to your shareholders because they pay your bills. However, the people that pay the money, that pay the bills, if they can't afford to pay for the product, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You would think that you would get to a point where people would just stop buying stuff, because I go into a store and I look at the price, and I'm used to a price that I can get at another store maybe, but I look at that and I go, well, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I know.
And I just won't pay that
$40 piece of chicken breast.
I just won't pay that. I don't.
Why should you?
There's certain staples that you want to make sure, and so milk and bread and eggs are right out of the thing, because people will buy that, and then they might cut back on, say, higher cuts of meat or so on.
Well, exactly. You've got people will push back buying bread, right? But they'll buy milk because they have to.
They'll buy bread too, but anyways, there's ways to work around. I can live on crackers this week.
You used to make your own bread?
Yeah. I mean, I remember being in university and living on...
Kraft dinner? Wieners?
No. Cornflakes with water.
Ew. That's gross sounding.
On them.
Oh, it was them ramen noodle things for me.
Yeah, no, with that you didn't
10
have.
cents a piece.
And then you'd go to the food bank and get some kind of weird thing. So, but anyways, you do what you have to do in order to have something in your belly.
Of course.
Right, but the ridiculousness.
It's getting to the point where it's
and it's not just like Jason complains too, but it's not so much like the cost of things is something he complains about when he shops. He does most of the shopping for us. That's what you do when you have someone that works in a grocery store. You make them do the shopping because they
don't want to.
know
what's what
where the deals are, right?
Sometimes he won't go to his own old store though.
Well, yeah, but it's that they can't keep the shelves loaded.
Well, and the stuff doesn't come in.
Like what is the shortages in supply is ridiculous. Like,
And it's not,
okay,
a lot of times
we're,
it's not that the supply is short. They just can't get it to them.
so I'm not understanding. Like when we were, knee deep in pandemic craziness, I can understand. Well, we don't have staff in our factories. We have there's nobody to drive the trucks. There's nobody. I understood because people are sick. Okay, so it's
2 years now.
It's 2 or 3 years
See,
later.
a lot of the people that left or, heaven forbid, passed on weren't replaced.
Well, yeah. So why is it that when I can't, like, especially I go into most grocery stores, it's not so bad. Walmart is incredibly.
Well, it depends which Walmart you go to, because the one new store has all the stock.
Oh, I see. They're just not stocking the
older stores.
The regular store, right?
A perfect example was during the pandemic, there was a shortage on graphics cards, right? Because they weren't allowed to just ship them in. They just couldn't.
Right.
And then as it ended, they were shipping them, but there was close to 40 container ships sitting off the port of Los Angeles.
With nobody unloading
With nobody to unload them.
Oh, so that's maybe where the hitch is.
That's where the hitch is. Because it's the same problem we have with the ferries here. That specific people do specific jobs. You can't put somebody off the street into those jobs.
Right. I've worked in a union before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't. We weren't allowed to hang photos on picture frames on the walls and stuff because it was the facilities dude's job.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Yeah,
it used to be really bad in the television industry, but thanks to Moses and his way he did things. Not the really old. Well, he is really old, but you know which Moses I'm referring to. Bless you. Oh. Thanks to him and his one-man band idea.
Yes.
It actually changed the way the union operates. At one time, if you were a camera operator, that's all you did.
Right.
You didn't edit. You didn't stand in front of the camera. Nothing. You couldn't even, all you could do was take the tape as the camera operator and hand it to the editor.
Right. So that's what the thing is. So supply and demand makes the prices go up, but and inflation, but they're going up way more than that should.
Than it should, yeah.
And the prices of things that there's plenty of supply of are still going up.
Right.
And then we have dairy farmers having to dump their milk because
nobody to take it to market.
They won't take over the certain amount, and it's a price control. It's
essentially
capitalism at its finest.
Yep. So you want to know something?
What?
You made it.
I made it. What, through the hour?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I only sneezed once.
At least once. I only went to the bathroom once. Not on air. I don't do it on air. Jeez.
Yeah. So I find it interesting that I go out one night to a social event, and 2 days later I have this going on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're blaming your daughter, anyways.
I almost want to wear a mask everywhere I go, including in my house when I have company. Like.
Yep.
So sick of being sick, like. Oh.
And it goes around so fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, did the pandemic not teach us anything?
Well, apparently not me.
I can see your eyes watering from here. Imagine these lights aren't helping.
Yeah.
So how about we wrap it up, give ourselves a break, and have some dinner?
That would be a good idea, I suppose.
Only I'm not making dinner. I made breakfast.
Are we?
But.
Are we Jason free tonight?
No, he's downstairs. I just said I cook breakfast so somebody else can cook dinner.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think we should say goodbye.
I'll cook dinner and I'll sneeze all over it.
No, it's snot-covered laundry, not snot-covered food.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, there's our short for the week. Let me just put that back on the screen of both of us. Hang on, I got to do something.
What?
I didn't want to do that into the microphone.
Well, mine probably picked it up.
No, I didn't hear it in my ears, so we're good.
Doofus McGee. So
we should say goodbye. Bye to people.
Say goodbye?
Yeah.
Already?
Yep. It's that time. I'm going to need another shower. It's so hot in here.
Yeah, it is warm in here.
What are we going to do in the summertime?
I
Broil.
don't know.
We're going to have to get...
Open
We're
the
going to have
windows.
to get an air conditioner, but I found we get an in-window air conditioner. They use less wattage than those big honking portable things.
Oh, so that might work in this.
It might not pop our breakers.
Yeah.
We haven't done that yet. I'm sure it's going to happen some point.
Yeah.
But that's why I have battery backups. You know, if we blow the power, we can still keep streaming for at least an hour. Because the internet stays plugged on.
I'm sure our listeners would be overwhelmingly excited
through the moon, right?
by that for sure.
In my case, it's all one of them.
All one of them.
And it's that one of them is probably me.
Oh. Well,
what's yours say? You got 4.
I'm going to take my sick little self
Yeah.
and go drink something. Really, I don't
Some
know.
cough meds, and I'll say goodbye, and we're back next week. What do we got? Well, we'll have St. Patty's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can tell you how the book fair went.
Yep. We'll probably, I might be able to get some raw video and play back some raw video,
Yeah.
an interview or two, or just some what we call B-roll, just to show people what it looked like. I'll go out and shoot some B-roll.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be.
It's nice to be out again.
Although I think I'm going to wear a mask,
Probably.
but I'm very excited to be.
Stormtrooper or Halo? Or Master Chief? That's my job.
No, this kind of mask.
The white one
Yes.
or blue?
I think I'm going to anyway. I'm very excited to be in the meeting with readers and authors
again. It's been a while.
and like shoppers and like it's cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, but at the end of it, we'll be tired of peopling again.
Yeah, probably.
So when are we going to stretch this show to the same length that Linus is doing his?
4 hours?
He was 5 last night.
Oh no!
Friday night.
No 4 hours.
And you know what his wife says?
What?
Yeah, getting books read. She's his chief financial officer, though, eh?
Right.
For the company.
Yeah.
Ew. I would not want that.
Yeah. I don't. That's what I do, but
He started with 4 staff members.
I would like staff members.
You know what he's up to now?
No.
Well over 100.
Wow. He's my hero.
Yeah. And you're going to go to LTX this summer? I'm planning to go. Just as a...
Well,
person.
maybe. Maybe I was wanting to get into When Words Collide in August.
It doesn't sound like you're going to get into that one.
Doesn't sound good, no. And
you're not very good on the communication department, eh?
well, who knows what's going on there?
It's just all timing, right?
Yeah.
And they have the same problem. Your cons all have the same thing. They have staffing issues.
There's There's staffing, volunteering issues, funding issues.
Well, even the funding is the fact that the funding is delayed. I'm hearing a lot of concerts, outdoor festivals, because the federal government, it doesn't have the infrastructure in place anymore to deal with the funding. They have the funding, they just got nobody to manage it.
Wow.
Same problem that everybody else has: staffing.
Well, there's a job for me. I could go
And a little bit of funding to yourself.
dole out money to people to do festivals. I would be happy to do that.
And you'd be happy to go as an attendee, right?
I'm happy to spend other people's money. That's cool. I do that.
That's the best kind of money.
I do that in a pinch.
That
was one of
money is the best.
One of my favorite jobs about being in a office manager in government was that I had
Spending everybody else's money.
a purchase card, and I had to keep the place stocked with
Everything from
pens
and
and
paper and
notebooks and
toilet paper too, right?
assorted things. Yeah, I had to keep them stocked, so I'd get to go shopping at least once a month, and it was a nice break.
Much better.
It was a nice.
Much gooder.
It was a nice break from the workload. To be able to. Retail therapy is a good thing.
That's where this thing came from.
Your new toy.
That was retail therapy.
Your new toy, yeah.
Well, it started out with what? I forgot what I was going to go out for, and I ended up buying a case.
I think you were just looking for extensions.
Yeah, DisplayPort cables extensions so we can turn your PC around.
Yeah.
I have those. I
Yeah.
managed to get those.
Yeah. A couple $100 later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I think
enough.
I think we should say goodbye and see you next week.
Yeah. So
Bye.
behave or
There's some fun in that.
keep quiet about it. One of two.
Don't
And
get caught.
yeah. And we'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Stop. I'm out.